Dan Baker is the Philadelphia-born Phillies public address announcer for the last 51 years. He earned his master's degree at Temple University after the 2009 retirement of the Yankees' Bob Shepard. Baker became the longest tenured public address announcer in Major League Baseball. He's worked 6 World Series, 2 All-Star games. He also served as the Philadelphia Eagles PA announcer from 1985 to 2014, handling 3 NFC Championship games. Baker's voice can also be heard at the Army-Navy football games played in Philadelphia. He broadcast Drexel men's basketball games from 1997 to 2012 and Big 5 basketball games for 21 years, serving as its executive director from 1981 to 1996. He was inducted into the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame and the Big 5 Hall of Fame. And now welcome to the Pennsylvania Sports Hall of Fame, Dan Baker.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The Philadelphia Phillies welcome you to Citizens Bank Park, where tonight Major League Baseball presents Game 2 of the 2023 World Series, featuring the American League Houston Astros and the National League Philadelphia Phillies. Well, that's where it would have been if the Phillies and the Astros won. I'm here with you wonderful people tonight. Bob, thank you. You never have to worry about deferring to another announcer. Your elocution is excellent. And by the way, congratulations for hiring Mick Munninghoff. Mick was a tremendous sports reporter and anchor in the Philadelphia area for many years. Like me, a graduate of Temple University, and so I know you have an excellent staff. Ladies and gentlemen, as Bob told you, and as you may have read in the program, I've been with the Phillies for 51 years and have had the good fortune to announce 6 World Series. And Art, or one of the guys mentioned, mentioned that he had played with or coached 10 Hall of Famers. Over my 51 years, I have announced 80 members of the Hall of Fame from Cooperstown, New York. And I want to mention that along the way, I did Philadelphia Eagles at Veterans Stadium and Lincoln Financial Field from 1985 through 2014. And I had the great fortune, both with the Phillies and the Eagles, to introduce some of the great Pennsylvania Hall of Fame inductees tonight, like Russ Grimm and Matt Millen, when they came to Philadelphia, and Art Howe, when he came for the different teams that he played and managed. I had the privilege of introducing Art. And although I don't remember him off the top of my head, I'm sure that I must have introduced Frank Bolick. And Frank and Art and Matt and Russ, thank you for allowing me that privilege. And also, I probably announced Nicole Lewandowski in the Home Run Derby Finals, which I did every year. Nicole, do you remember if I introduced you there? Where's Nicole sitting? You were a great athlete. She's so nice, she probably would have said I did, even if it weren't true. And, you know, I was going to tell you a joke that would have lifted the hair right off the roof of your head. But Art and some others in the room already heard it. I am grateful that the Phillies give me an opportunity to make my introductions from the field. Many times the public address announcer is up in, one of the booths, so the voice is kind of this disembodied voice. You don't know sometimes whether it's a man or a woman or where it's coming from or what he or she looks like. But Dave Montgomery and Bill Giles thought it was a good idea, and it might serve as to establish a warmer relationship between the announcer and the fans, if they could see who was announcing. So I do the lineups for the Phillies and have for 51 years, right from the field, and I'm able to see you wonderful fans. And we thank all of you who support Phillies baseball. And Chuck Bednarik was mentioned, one of my boyhood heroes, along with my father and Robin Roberts, another Hall of Famer with the Phillies. And of course, Kurt Simmons is from this area, isn't he? I saw his picture in the program originally. And college basketball, I was with the Big Five. In fact, I had my Big Five Basketball Hall of Fame watch on, along with my 2022 National League Championship ring. The Phillies and Big Five are kind enough to honor me in that way. And, at the Army-Navy games, and one of the things I'm very proud about is that through my many announcing jobs, I had the great honor to introduce the President of the United States 4 times. 3 times at Army-Navy football games, and once at the 1976 Major League Baseball All-Star game at Veterans Stadium. President Gerald R. Ford at that time. So I have so much to be thankful for, and I want to remind you guys, now there's a lot of great athletes being inducted tonight. I'm not one of them. I mean, these guys are way above my level. But here's a chance for you to get a photo with Russ Grimm, Matt Millen, Art Howe, and all of these great wrestling coaches up here. So you fans ought to tell. I already got a picture. I feel like I've had a chance to announce all these great athletes and dignitaries. My goodness, I feel like a kid up here with that great Penn State football player and 4-time Super Bowl winner Matt Millen, Russ Grimm, Pro Football Hall of Famer, and Art Howe. And Art, I apologize if using you as the subject of a joke was offensive in any way. I didn't mean it to be. And you are such a class act, sir. And it was a pleasure to introduce you. I had a couple of people thinking, I found this funny. You may not. But those portraits out there, is anybody familiar with the book or the movie Dorian Gray? The portrait of me is me 10 years into the future with long white hair. Wow. I guess if I'm still here, I'm 77, that's what I'll look like in 10 years. But I'm grateful for the work that went into it, and I know all of the other inductees. And I just want to make sure that I congratulate everyone else, because this is really a terrific group. It's an honor for me to be included. I was right behind Vivian Stringer's son and brother. What classy people. And I wanted to let you guys know that when I was at the Big Five, and I broadcast Big Five basketball for 21 years, Drexel basketball for another 15, when I was at the Big Five, and even before I got to the Big Five, through broadcasting, I worked with, on occasion, at different sports luncheons and dinners in the Philadelphia area, the 2 great Hall of Fame basketball coaches from Cheney University, John Cheney, who won a men's basketball NCAA championship, Division II, and Vivian Stringer. And they're both class acts in what Vivian went on to do, and it was so wonderful to hear about those great stories from Western Pennsylvania. So congratulations to Vivian and her family. And I want to thank Jimmy Perella, who sponsored me from the Lou Capiella chapter in Philadelphia. I'd also like to thank Joe Mayer, the president of our local chapter here, and Denny Dowds for their great hospitality. And most of all, I'd like to thank my parents for the opportunity that they gave me, Ed and Marge Baker, my brother and sisters, Rick, Sandy, and Kim, and my wife, Kathy. To talk about being gifted and being lucky. I've had some health challenges in the last few years, as some of you may know, and that beautiful woman showed up at the hospital every day for 6 weeks when I had a 24-hour surgery. And she's been at every one of the 24 surgeries I've had since. And I sure married above my pay grade, and I'm glad I did. Talk about Hall of Famers, the one and only Kathy Baker, right there. What a wonderful mother, grandmother. Oh boy, she's terrific. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me. Bob, you're doing a great job. Is Mick still here? Are you still here?
As a matter of fact, I got you.
See, don't be. Is he going to put in for overtime? Oh, okay. Hey, Nick, congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Go Philly!
Oh, goodness. That's pretty wild.
Follow that, at least I get to read something.
But I bet he has connection with 5 or 6 of these people here right now. That's incredible.
Well, again, it's only fitting that since this is hosted by the Pocono and Lehigh Valley Hall of Fames, it's fitting that a Hall of Fame guy is, last but not least, Matt Millen. Matt Millen is the owner of 4 Super Bowls.